This weapon is the future of warfare. Contrary to what is depicted in the movies, directed energy does not produce a large red laser or a loud noise. If executed properly, the target will simply drop from the sky rather than explode in brilliant shards of light to the accompaniment of a John Williams composition. However, this does not negate the fact that directed energy is progressing remarkably and quickly. Consider M-SHORAD, also known as Directed Energy Maneuver Short-Range Air Defense. The next-generation laser weapon is being developed in collaboration with business partners by the U.S. Army Combat Capabilities Development Command Aviation and Missile Center, U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command, and the Rapid Capabilities and Critical Technologies Office, and they finished it in just 3 years. According to Damon Template, DEVCOM AVMC software lead for M-SHORAD, quote, M-SHORAD is a 50-kilowatt class laser weapon system on a Stryker vehicle. The system's onboard thermal and power system, to put it simply, dissipates heat and recharges the system's batteries. The batteries power the laser's firing. A beam director positioned on the roof projects the beam. It's a little disconcerting to discover that the beam is silent and invisible to the naked eye if you grew up watching Star Wars. The laser beam is focused on a target via a tracking device, and the ideal aim point is then maintained until the track is neutralized. The system lacks a specialized support vehicle, and neither pulls a trailer. The truck is more agile than previous systems because everything is mounted on it. The fact that M-SHORAD is more economical than launching numerous expensive missiles against low-value targets is another important aspect of the system. RCCTO receives software and requirement verification, test support and analysis, and assistance with system integration difficulties from AVMC's Technology Department Directorate and Software, Simulation, Systems Engineering, and Integration Directorate. Additionally, AVMC manages and operates a government DE lab that verifies and validates the M-SHORAD software. Through soldier touchpoints and live-fire test situations, the system is continuously enhanced. In the upcoming months, RCCTO will supply a platoon of 4 vehicles and start training soldiers on new equipment. Alabama's Huntsville is swiftly emerging as a center for the development of directed energy. Template sees M-SHORAD as more than just a cutting-edge weapon system. He was a soldier before becoming an engineer. KBR demonstrates capabilities of M-SHORAD during combat shoot-off. During the Combat Shoot-Off, or CSO, for the U.S. Army, KBR showcased the Directed Energy Maneuver Short-Range Air Defense's capabilities. The CSO gave U.S. Army soldiers a chance to practice using and become accustomed to the new defensive tool. Soldiers participated in a series of vignettes that simulated realistic threats and battle situations. The laser-equipped Stryker demonstrated its prowess, including its ability to maneuver and use multiple targets at various ranges, while utilizing cutting-edge technologies. The CSO was held in July at Fort Sill in the U.S. state of Oklahoma. Using immersive virtual training created by KBR, soldiers were instructed on how to operate the M-SHORAD vehicle during the demonstration. In keeping with the U.S. Army's modernization goal for air and missile defense, KBR Government Solutions President Byron Bright said, quote, "The successful execution of the M-SHORAD system is a huge step forward in providing this cutting-edge technology to our soldiers on the ground. The program has rapidly advanced from design through integration and is currently performing in an operational setting, which is an incredible accomplishment." The lead integrator and principal contractor for the Army Rapid Capabilities and Critical Technologies Office, or RCCTO, M-SHORAD program, our KBR subsidiary CORD. Nancy Jones Bonbrist, a member of the U.S. Army's Army Rapid Capabilities Office Strategic Communications, claimed that the weapon system met the performance and design standards set forth for the RCCTO program. RCCTO stated that the project to deliver 4 Strykers with lasers by the end of fiscal year 2022 is still in progress. a Sustained Counter-Uncrewed Aircraft System, or CUAS, and counter-rocket, artillery, and mortar (CRAM) firepower can be delivered to the contemporary battlefield by the 50-kilowatt class high-energy laser known as DE M-SHORAD. In fiscal year 2022, the prototype is anticipated to be deployed. Centauri, a US-based provider of high-end engineering, intelligence, cybersecurity, and advanced technology solutions, was acquired by KBR in October 2020. How will lasers change war? The initial incarnations of laser weapons will probably be used to uphold the current order of battlefield armaments. However, if they become more advanced, they can start to have the opposite impact. A defensive technology that has hovered on the verge of reality for years is directed energy weapons, such as lasers. Military leaders continue to be intrigued by the idea of a weapon that requires no ammo and has effects that move at the speed of light, despite the myriad technological obstacles that have so far prevented lasers from being effectively used. Before the conclusion of the Cold War, directed energy weapons, a longtime staple of science fiction, were considered part of the space-based missile defense system. The U.S. Air Force revived the idea in the early 2000s, even going so far as to convert a Boeing 747 into the YAL-1, an airborne laser platform intended to fire down ballistic missiles as they were launching. Cost overruns, range restrictions, and doubts about the program's operational viability led to its final cancellation. But today, several countries, including the United States, China, India, and Russia, are aggressively exploring directed energy weapons. Although they haven't been publicly acknowledged, the US has gone as far as installing a prototype laser weapon system on a small number of warships.